Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss is a book about negotiation. It teaches you how to negotiate in any situation, whether you are buying a car, trying to get a raise, or dealing with a hostage taker. Voss is a former FBI hostage negotiator, and he knows a thing or two about getting people to do what he wants. In the book, he shares his secrets for getting what you want in any negotiation. Negotiation is a competition. There is a winner and a loser, so you need to be prepared to fight for what you want. Emotions are important. You need to be aware of your own emotions and the emotions of the other person in order to negotiate effectively. Listen actively. Pay attention to what the other person is saying and try to understand their needs. Be empathetic. Put yourself in the other person's shoes and try to see things from their perspective. If you're looking for a book that will teach you how to negotiate like a pro, then Never Split the Difference is the book for you. It's full of practical advice that you can use in any situation. The first part of the book, The Negotiation Mindset, covers the following topics. Negotiation is not a battle. It's a collaborative process where both parties should aim to win. Traditional win-lose approaches are ineffective. They often lead to resentment and unproductive deals. The goal of negotiation is to create a win-win situation. This requires understanding the other party's needs and interests. You need to be prepared to walk away from a negotiation. If you're not happy with a deal, don't be afraid to walk away. Here are some additional tips for having a successful negotiation. Be prepared. Do your research and know what you want to achieve. Be confident. Believe in yourself and your ability to get what you want. Be respectful. Treat the other party with respect, even if you disagree with them. Be patient. Negotiation can be a slow process. Don't expect to get everything you want right away. By following these tips, you can increase your chances of having a successful negotiation. Here are some specific examples of how to apply these principles. If you're trying to negotiate a raise, do your research and know what the market rate is for your position. This will give you a good starting point for the negotiation. If you're trying to buy a car, be confident in your ability to get a good deal. Don't be afraid to walk away from the negotiation if you're not happy with the price. If you're dealing with a difficult customer, be respectful and patient. Try to understand their needs and interests, and work to find a solution that works for both of you. By following these tips, you can improve your negotiation skills and get better results in all areas of your life. The second part of the book, The Tools of Negotiation, covers the following topics. The importance of active listening. You need to pay attention to what the other person is saying and not just wait for your turn to talk. The power of silence. Silence can be a powerful tool in negotiation. It can make the other person uncomfortable and force them to talk. The use of calibrated questions. These are questions that are designed to get the other person to reveal information without feeling like they're being interrogated. The importance of labels. Labels are words that you use to describe the other person's emotions. They can help to de-escalate a situation and create a more productive environment. Here are some additional tips for using these tools effectively. Practice active listening. When someone is talking to you, make eye contact, nod your head, and ask clarifying questions. Use silence to your advantage. When you're in a negotiation, don't be afraid to let there be silence. It can be a powerful tool. Ask calibrated questions. These questions can help you to get the information you need without making the other person feel defensive. Use labels carefully. Labels can be helpful, but they can also be used in a manipulative way. Use them with caution. By following these tips, you can improve your ability to use the tools of negotiation and get better results in your negotiations. Here are some specific examples of how to apply these principles. If you're trying to negotiate a raise, use active listening to understand the other person's perspective. Ask clarifying questions to make sure you understand their concerns. If you're trying to buy a car, use silence to your advantage. After the seller makes an offer, don't be afraid to let there be silence. They may be more likely to come down on the price if they feel uncomfortable. If you're dealing with a difficult customer, use calibrated questions to get them to talk about their needs. This can help you to find a solution that works for both of you. If you're in a heated negotiation, use labels to de-escalate the situation. For example, you could say something like, "I can see that you are feeling frustrated. Let's take a break and come back to this later. By following these tips, you can improve your negotiation skills and get better results in all areas of your life. The third part of the book, The Tactics of Negotiation, covers the following topics. The importance of preparation. You need to know what you want to achieve and what the other party wants before you start negotiating. The use of tactical empathy. This is a way of understanding the other person's perspective without agreeing with it. The power of the no label. When you say no to the other person's offer, it can make them more likely to come back with a better one. The importance of being willing to walk away. If you're not happy with a deal, don't be afraid to walk away from the negotiation. Here are some additional tips for using these tactics effectively. Do your research. Before you start negotiating, make sure you know what the market rate is for your position or the product you are trying to buy. Use tactical empathy. When the other person is talking, try to see things from their perspective. This doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but it will help you to understand their motivations. Use the no label carefully. Saying no can be a powerful tool, but it's important to use it sparingly. If you say no too often, the other person may become discouraged and give up. Be prepared to walk away. This is one of the most important tips in negotiation. If you're not happy with a deal, don't be afraid to walk away. If you're trying to negotiate a raise, do your research to know what the market rate is for your position. This will give you a good starting point for the negotiation. If you're trying to buy a car, use tactical empathy to understand the seller's perspective. Why are they selling a car? What are their needs? Once you understand their perspective, you can be more effective in negotiating a price. If you're dealing with a difficult customer, use the no label to set boundaries. For example, if the customer is asking for a discount that you can't afford to give, you could say something like, "I'm sorry, but I can't give you a discount on that item." If you're in a negotiation that's not going your way, be prepared to walk away. This doesn't mean you have to give up, but it shows the other party that you're not willing to settle for a bad deal. The fourth part of the book, the conclusion, summarizes the key takeaways from the book and provides advice on how to become a better negotiator. Negotiation is a skill that can be learned and improved with practice. The most important thing in negotiation is to understand the other person's perspective. There are a number of tools and tactics that you can use to improve your negotiation skills. The most important thing is to be prepared to walk away from a negotiation if you are not happy with the deal. Here are some additional tips for becoming a better negotiator. Practice active listening. When someone is talking to you, make eye contact, nod your head, and ask clarifying questions. Be patient. Negotiation can be a slow process. Don't expect to get everything you want right away. Be persistent. Don't give up if you don't get what you want in the first round of negotiations. Be willing to compromise. You may not always get everything you want, but you should be willing to compromise to reach an agreement. By following these tips, you can improve your negotiation skills and get better results in all areas of your life. If you're trying to negotiate a raise, be patient. It may take some time to reach an agreement that you're happy with. If you're trying to buy a car, be persistent. Don't be afraid to walk away from the negotiation if you're not happy with the price. If you're dealing with a difficult customer, be willing to compromise. You may not be able to give them everything they want, but you should be willing to meet them halfway. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.